In this section, we will discuss the ins and outs of resume writing, an extremely important component of the job application process. Mastering resume writing can open doors to many opportunities. So what is a resume? A resume is one of the documents used by employers to screen job applicants, typically before an interview. The word resume originates from the French word for summary. There is a common misconception that a resume is simply a document listing your education and work history, but as you will see in this section, there is so much more to a resume, and it's very important to understand this before starting to write your resume. Now, what is the real purpose of a resume? A resume gives you, as an applicant, the chance to showcase your background, education, experience, and skills relevant to the position you're applying for. The key word here is relevant. A resume should not list all your experience and accomplishments in life, but the ones that are relevant and make your application shine. In a nutshell, the real purpose of a resume is to get you shortlisted for an interview and should therefore create a positive and strong first impression on employers. Your resume is like a strategic marketing tool designed to sell you as a candidate. That's why crafting a strong resume requires lots more than simply just listing down things you have done. Think about all the time, effort, research, and work that goes into an advertising or marketing campaign for a product. The end result could be an image, a TV ad, or a poster, but there's a lot of groundwork that goes into achieving this end result. Similarly, your resume can speak volumes about you as a candidate and even get across your personality and attitude. Therefore, it's important to construct it carefully. There is an unspoken rule in the world of HR that a resume is read in under 10 seconds. Is this even possible? What this means is that within the first 10 seconds of scanning a resume, a recruiter makes up their mind about the candidate. The average time taken is actually 6 seconds, by the way. Recruiters are often flooded with job applications, sometimes having to go through several in a day. Therefore, it's really important that your resume passes this 10-second test by standing out and making an immediate positive impression on a recruiter. So, how can we make our resumes effective? Now, as we said earlier, if the purpose of a resume is to get you shortlisted for an interview, then everything you include on your resume should serve this very purpose. If you're unsure what to include, simply ask yourself, will this help me get shortlisted for an interview? If the answer is no, then it's definitely not worth including. Include relevant details only. And by the way, this itself can be quite difficult when you realize just how little space you actually have. For a resume to be effective, it's also very important that the content of your resume is well structured, easy to read, relevant, and precise. As we will see shortly, resumes may vary in style, design, and length. But through your resume, you should always aim to portray an accurate and coherent picture of yourself as a candidate. Creating an effective resume can be a tedious and time-consuming process, involving great attention to detail and some creativity. The good news is that it's also a very rewarding process and often a one-time investment with big payoffs that can then be tweaked as necessary for different job applications in the future. Before we get into the details of resume writing, it's important to touch upon two popular terms relating to the application process, CV and resume. Many of us use the terms resume and CV interchangeably. However, they are not always interchangeable. We should be aware of the key differences between them, namely their purpose, length, and layout. CV stands for Curriculum Vitae, which means course of life in Latin. CVs are typically longer than resumes, about 2 pages long, and include in-depth information about your academic background, degrees, qualifications, awards, achievements, research or publications if relevant, and so on. The information is arranged in chronological order, and your CV does not change with the jobs you are applying to. A resume, on the other hand, is a concise summary, not more than 1 to 2 pages long. Resumes should be tailored to the particular job you are applying for, as you may wish to highlight certain elements over others to make your application and suitability as a candidate stand out. CVs are often used when applying for academic positions, such as fellowships and research roles, while resumes are a norm for the majority of job applications. It is important to note that the usage of these terms varies geographically. In the US and Canada, both terms are used just as I described. However, in the UK, there is actually no real difference between the two terms. It is common to refer to this document as a CV, and in the UK, this refers to a resume as we have just defined it, a summary document that is tailored to the job you're applying for.